What's good, y'all? Welcome to my review for this week's episode, or I guess episode 8, rather, or so have it, of Dragon Ball Daima Man. Phenomenal episode, once again, ladies and gentlemen. As you guys know, I mentioned in my review for the previous episode that I had a feeling this would be like, this would have a lot of great animation this episode, and they did not disappoint. The animation this episode for the fight between the Goemon and Goku, man, was phenomenal. Especially the effects, man. There was some damn good effects working this episode, man. And yeah, next week looks pretty interesting as well for next episode preview. We actually have Goku wearing a different outfit for once, so that should be interesting where that goes. And yeah, man, let's jump right in. And we start the episode off right where we left off right at the start. They just go straight into the fight. No BS, no recap in the last 5 minutes from the previous episode. No nothing. Just get straight into Goku versus Tamagami. But first, one thing I want to talk about real quick is, this is something I noticed, I literally just noticed in the OP, and I do not know if the OP was changed, it probably wasn't, I just didn't notice this. But when we get to the shot where we see King Goemon, in the background you can see Deborah as well as like a fat Deborah, or whoever this character is. Literally, I have never noticed this. Was this always there? It probably was, but I literally just noticed. So I guess, I don't know, maybe that's his brother or something that we will see later on this series, but literally I just noticed that. Anyway, man, now I'm not going to go in here and recap the whole 5-5 beat for beat. I'm also just going to go over my favorite cuts, which, to my disappointment, a lot of this fight has been posted on Toei Perfect Shots. It's like the Toei Saga account. They post stuff from Dragon Ball, One Piece, you know, and yeah, One Piece and Dragon Ball and etc. There is literally only one cut from that episode that's been posted. I don't know if it's just because the other cuts just haven't been posted on Sakugaboro, and you know that's why they are just not, or we just don't know which animators worked on which cuts of this particular episode. Maybe the person that runs this account is just lazy. I don't know, because My Soccer Academia, obviously, you know, well, this account also just gives the name and the anime. It doesn't give you episode counts like My Soccer Academia does. They give you the animator, the episode of the episode of the series that's in, man. You know, posting constantly, you know, from various multiple cuts per episode, and rather than just the one. But whatever the case, we'll talk about that cut when we get there, man. But yeah, this fight was absolutely incredible, man. So he's like, we're gonna start with the Tamagami. We're trying to squash Goku with his hammer, man. Like, with Goku man's a dodge, man, uses the power pole to block some attacks. This one, now obviously this is one of my favorite cuts of the episode that we did see in the next episode preview, where he uses like the power pole to like fires it right at the Tamagami, but he manages to dodge it. He like Goku like jumps over his hammer, runs on top, and goes over, or like, no, rather he like gets stuck on his hammer, gets swinging away, but then Goku lands on the floor, goes underneath his legs, and uses the power poles to like get him down on his knees, like he's fucking Levi taking down the fucking Beast type. Man, this reminded me a lot of that cut, not gonna lie, with the way Goku was going, and then he like rushes on top of him to try and like land on a shot from above, but the Tamagami manages to block it, which Goku manages to dodge his block, his counterattack was like a Matrix dodge thing. It looked real good. Like, this episode was fantastic. I don't know if I would go as far as call this my favorite episode of Daima. I don't think I would. The honor still goes to the Minotaur episode. But in terms of animation, this might be the best one this is probably the best episode we've gotten of Daima in terms of just animation quality so far. Obviously, we know later in the show that's probably going to take it, but this episode was absolutely spectacular, man. Another one of my favorite cuts is like when they like just straight up charging each other right towards each other, and they're like using the power pole and the hammer to block each other's attack and attack each other, man. Looked really fucking good, man. The moving backgrounds and everything, man. This cut looked absolutely spectacular, man. Another one of my personal favorites is right here, where Goku runs on top of his hammer, jumps above him, man, and then just starts flying around him, then uses the power pole to like lock him between like this opening in the cliff, swings himself back upward there, man, to block the power pole, or to block his hammer with the power pole, and seemingly also he like uses the force, like try and like push it downward on Goku, and Goku, I guess, seemingly uses the power pole to like move it out of the way, I think, because it was kind of moving. I'm not sure if that was the power pole or him transforming into Super Saiyan. The hammer then comes right back towards, like, literally, the Tamagami uses this fucking hammer like it's Thor's hammer, man. Literally, he uses like it's fucking Mjolnir, not gonna lie. Then he literally jumps over and then breaks the hammer in two, taking the handle off from the actual hammer itself and throwing it back towards the Tamagami, man. This shit was fucking awesome. And so afterwards, man, he takes on a fighting stage. He's like, hey, you ready to get serious now? the Tamagami fate gets in its own like fighting stance thing, as we see this really nice background shot in the background with the sunset man. And then once the hammer like moves into, I guess that was their cue to go, and they charge towards each other. And this is when we get to the one cut of the episode that was actually posted on Toei Perfect Shots. Like I said, I don't know if more of this episode's been posted on Soccer Bar, or this is literally all that's up on that episode. If it is, I mean, fair enough, I suppose. But anyway, this cut was handled by Ken Otsuka. Otsuka, if I'm pronouncing it wrong. Never heard this anime, man. You guys know me. I'm still new to the soccer animation scene, man. Especially when it comes to, I don't know nobody on this team. I don't know my expertise like Bones and Perry on animators for Bleach. But anyway, man, this cut was really good where Goku charges towards the Tamagami, fires some ki blasts on and we get this really nice rotating shot of Goku firing ki blasts on the Tamagami as the camera pans around them, man. It looked really fun. Cool. The effects work themselves looked amazing, especially when we get like the later half, man, with the Kamehameha. Lord have mercy. Anyway, then we got Goku running up walls while the Tamagami is just indiscriminately firing like everywhere. And then after all that, he starts the ground beneath them. He fires at the ground beneath them, shattering it. And then we get the most extra Kamehameha in the history of Dragon Ball. More extra than Goku and Ultra Instincts and Super using a Kamehameha to like glide against Kefla's beam into the attack, which also was batshit insane for Super. That's honestly was one of the most hype moments of Super, if I'm being honest, man. This is right up there, man. This is what I might like a little bit more, just because about extras, because you got the ground. This is like fucking Namek blowing up in like 30 episodes kind of thing, where you got the ground beneath them, absolutely just deconstructing amounts of hills. They're making like hills out of this shit, like an unlimited amount of rocks fall off from like this like perch that Goku is on. The camera is moving in random directions that make no goddamn sense, other than the animator just decided, fuck it. Like literally, man, this, like, I don't know how this cut has been posted on Toei Perfect Shot. This is like the cut of the episode, if I'm being honest, man. Like, oh my god, cinema, literal cinema was this cut of Dragon Ball Daima. Finally, Goku fires the Kamehameha while the Tamagami fires his own like energy blast or laser blast, whatever it was, from his hands. And we get a bit of a beam struggle for like maybe a second before Goku's Kamehameha instantly takes it over. Animation here looked amazing, especially the key animation on the shot Goku when they would cut back to when he was delivering the Kamehameha. I love the colors. It reminded me a lot of that impact frame from Your Next. My hero game Your Next. I was in like all the trailers and whatnot, man. Such a godly frame, man. Seriously, cannot wait till I finally get my hands to watch that film. Anyway, so like we get like an overhead shot of this Kamehameha. Then the Tamagami like is like blocking the attack. He's like trying to hold it back from himself, man. Well, then he eventually gets like perched against a wall or pinned against the wall while he's still holding it back. And then like while he's like putting himself in, overclocking himself or whatnot, he starts turning a bit red. He then manages to push the Kamehameha up into the air for it to blow up, where then Goku takes the advantage with him being probably drained from that attack with an elbow to the gut. Where then he yields and Goku is declared the victor. Also, shout out to Stephanie as well. She sounded amazing. I saw some people complaining about her performance when she first turned Super Saiyan, which I'm almost like, I mean, yeah, her Goku did sound a bit better when I went back and listened to it in Japanese, but at the same time, man, like, cut somebody some slack, man. She's old, you know, she hasn't voiced Goku in like 20 years, man. Like, cut the woman some slack if her screams are not up par with Sean. You know, she still sounds good, man. Her screams still sound good. Not as good, probably not as good as when she was in her youth, man, but she's older now. She hasn't voiced Goku in 20 years. It's not like Sean, where he's like always voicing Goku, so his muscles always, you know, keeping up with him, right? Like, I'm sure it took her a minute to get the screaming down right, because it's been so long since she's voiced Goku. So, like, you know, cut Stephanie some slack, man. She's old. Still younger than Goku Seiyu, who's like 80 years old, and still, I don't know how that woman is still fire at the capacity, but I guess when you never stop doing it, I guess that keeps your vocal cords in check when you're just constantly doing it, man. Keeps it in like tip-top shape, I guess. I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor. Whatever the case may be, man, I think Stephanie sounds great, man. I think Bill should cut her a little bit of slack with her screaming. Like, they sound good, but like, you know, like I said, she's old now and hasn't done this for like 20 years. Anyway, man, so so you would think after this that Goku's like, all right, I beat you, give me the Dragon Ball, and we're on our way. No. The Tamagami has other things, but where he now takes the Dragon Ball, puts it in a cup, and then starts shuffling the cups around and telling him like pick a cup. Now, one thing I was a little bit annoyed with is that they don't let the audience like keep up with it to see where they can find it, man. Which kind of annoyed me. I like it when they when shows or whatnot do this kind of thing, and they let the audience keep up with it. Like they keep the camera locked on it, man, so you can follow along with it and make sure you know where it is. Oh, like the show kind of like cuts away and make it basically impossible for the viewer to follow along with him with where the cup is, man. Another thing that a little nitpick I have with the animation here, and maybe this is just a Metal Gear fan of me, but like I wish we actually saw Goku's eyes like move, like following the cups around. Now, to be fair, maybe by the time they cut that point, that's when he like already tossed the Dragon Ball out of the cup and it was behind the dude. But we'll talk about that in a second, because I'm kind of surprised no one noticed it before that. But anyway, I do kind of wish we saw Goku's eyes moving around, to like him following the cup around. So that would have been like a nice little added touch to the scene to make it a little bit better. Because it reminded me, because you remember in Metal Gear Solid 3 when Ocelot and Naked Snake are having their final showdown, man, he like takes two revolvers and he has like either both of them have one bullet in or only one bullet in it, and he starts juggling them around, putting them behind his back and everything, man, and telling, Snake to pick a gun. And while the whole thing is going on there, man, the camera cuts away from him, gives us a close-up to Snake, where you see his one eye, because after this one, he already got shot, and he already had the eye patch and everything, man. And you can see his eye moving around, following the guns, and I really thought that was such a nice little touch of detail, man, that I wish they did this was an episode of Daima where you actually saw Goku's eyes moving, following the cups around. Nice, a little nitpick on that one, but I wish they did that, man, because I thought it would have given the scene that little extra sizzle, if you know what I'm saying. Also, I don't even know if I know what I'm saying. But anyway, man, after he's done shuffling the cups, and then this dude just starts going to super speed and just starts shuffling them like crazy, where it's like impossible to catch him unless you like Goku. And then he tells him to pick a cup, and you got Pansy over there like pouting in the background, be like, hey, that's cheating, man, with like speed was going out and whatnot. She asked Supreme Kai was able to follow along. Supreme Kai lost after a few turns, man, so it's basically up to Goku. And then Goku says that it's over there and points us that it's over some random guy's head behind him in the crowd of people. First of all, how the fuck did nobody now know? Like there were like literally two guys behind him where the Dragon Balls basically at eye level for them. Like, do demons not got peripheral vision? How, like, I mean, to be fair, there's definitely been shit that are, like, you could also say, like, there's definitely shit that would have been in my peripheral vision that I haven't noticed, to be fair, that we just focus on one thing and then we just don't notice what else, we get, like, tunnel vision and whatnot, man. So you could make the argument for that, but at the same time, man, like, it's right above his head, it had to fly over there, man. How did nobody not see it? Like, I find it kind of hard to believe that nobody noticed it besides Goku, when he did. And then everyone's like, oh, shit. You know what I mean? Like, I thought it was a little bit more. If you're going to do that, you should at least put it up a little bit higher in the air so, like, it kind of makes sense for them not to see it, man. But rather than keeping it so literally, like, right above someone's head where there's, like, two guys that are eye level with them. So I thought that was a little weird. Didn't really make much sense. And then finally, Goku gets the Dragon Ball, man. We see, like, the little hologram Dragon Ball on the tree start to disappear, man, and disappear, which looked really cool, man. It was kind of interesting to see the actual, like, Demon World Dragon Balls to scale. They seem to be a bit bigger. They're definitely bigger than Earth's Dragon, but they don't seem to be as big as Nameki's Dragon Ball. They seem to be in between the two. Or maybe they just look bigger because, Goku and the others are kids. So maybe it looks bigger to them in comparison and scale. I don't know if we'll get to see them with the Dragon Balls when they're with the Demon World's Dragon Balls once they turn back to adults. I don't know if we do get to see it just so we can like truly get a good scale of how big the Dragon Balls are compared to the Earth Dragon Balls and the Namekian Dragon Balls, but they seem to be at the very least bigger than Earth, but not as big as the Namekian Dragon Balls. From what I can gather. Anyway, the Tamagami then grabs his hammer and reforms it as he says, Goku, you are a brave fighter, you fight with courage, blah, blah, blah. Well, you get like a more orchestrated version of the OP song playing back, which I thought was a nice little touch. There. Anyway, Goku lifts up the Dragon Ball and starts celebrating his victory as they eventually go on their merry way. But before that, Glorio gets a call. And once again, the whole Goku mispronouncing Glorio's name once again was not in this episode. I don't know if the running joke has just died now, they're done with it, or if they're just holding it off for a few episodes, they're going to go back to it, man. I don't know, but whatever the case may be. And it's Aransu obviously calling, and that's when Glorio tells her that they have the third world's dragon, the third team world Dragon Ball, they're ahead of schedule, and all is going according to plan. So then they finally fly off. We actually get to see the Tamagami trying to do the Kamehameha, which was pretty funny. And Goku enjoys the spoils of battle by indulging in a bunch of dumplings they bought. We also got Pansy mentioning wondering how strong Goku is, and that he can even use magic. Goku's just I guess I never really what do you no, he can't. Then she's like, what do you call the energy blast you're firing? And he's like, yeah, well, I guess I never thought like that. Once again, I don't know why no one in this show just says Ki. I don't know why they're all just saying this shit's magic and no one's like, this guy, actually, it's Ki. Don't know what that's about, but whatever the case may be, they fly off. And then we get a really nice 3D shot of the plane going through the asteroid field right here. Now it looks really good. We head over back to King Ghidorah, and we find out that they're once again rewatching the Buu arc, and they're currently watching Vegeta's sacrifice to kill Majin Buu, which obviously didn't do anything, and he ended up regenerating himself. But as this is going on, we find out that actually Aransu was actually there collecting a piece of Majin Buu. Animation looked really good, by the way. The character looked really good here on the close-up of King Ghidorah, when he was like, what is she doing here? Really, the animation there, man. The character acting there was really good. So yeah, she grabs a piece of Buu, which looked like she grabbed his heart. So yeah, while all this shit was going on there, man, Piccolo was there too. Nobody seemed to notice this woman. She just went completely undetected while all this crazy shit was going on during this battle. We then get another really nice 3D shot. At least I think it's 3D. This might have been all 2D. Panning shot of them going through the sky and everything into some tree planet area thing that looked really, really cool, man. I really like the backgrounds here for this episode, man, for this area that they're in, man. They looked really good. So she goes into this house, which is a witch's coven or whatever, man. She's this witch is out here creating some potion, and she's adding the last little bits to it, man. Before we go pouring it into this this bowl and whatnot, man. Animation sure looked really good, man. I love the look of it with the reflectiveness of from the blue smoke coming from the pot that was reflecting off her clothes, man. It looked really good, man. I like this. I like the colors right here for this, man. The drawings right here, the key animation looked really good. And we find out that actually this witch was actually the true creator of Majin Buu, not Babidi? Yeah, Babidi was not the creator, or rather, it seemed he more or less took the credit from her work of creating Majin Buu. So, yeah, new lore. Anyway, she explains that even if that Majin Buu, there's no way she could even replicate Majin Buu even if she wanted to, and she couldn't really call him a success. As the final little bits of the liquid finally go into the pot, man. Which look, the water animation, I have to say, the water effects animation looks really good here. So finally, the pot is ready. It shoots up into the sky, man, with green, with these green. It looked like the Ava. You know when the angels would blow up in Ava and they turned to a cross? It looked like that. Kind of, and our artist explains that she becomes the king of the demon world, or I guess queen in this particular instance, that she will be paid handsomely for her help in creating whatever the hell she had her cook up for her. Anyway, we then cut back over to the Vegeta's team, where the dude gets a call from the king of the third demon world, where they're just celebrating because they heard the news about Goku grabbing the third demon world Dragon Ball, just tells them to meet them at the second one rather than trying to to meet up with them, or to just go to Sir Ward because they're already on their way there, to just meet up with them there. And so they're having a hell of a celebration, man. Eventually Bulma starts ooh, and she tells him to stay at a restaurant or stay at a hotel, get some food, man. I gave you spend that money, so go spend it. So Bulma, poor Bulma, she's ooh, we're going to how is it? How many stars does it have? And I'm like, woman, did you forget you're in the demon world, man? This shit does not apply here. And he says mud wine's really good. She's ooh, what does it taste like? And I love this how deadpan the dude is. He turns to Bulma, little sound effect with it coming out as he turns I'd say it's mud forward. And it turns back with the sound effect again, man. It was pretty funny. And then Vegeta starts asking about the if the G-More has their own Dragon Balls, and he tells them to keep talking, but he says, no, why would I keep telling someone who barks orders like they're a king? And I'm like, well, he's not wrong, man. Vegeta is a king. He is a prince of all Saiyans, so like, yes, he is a king. And this gets Vegeta really angry, man. He's all red. The character actor here was pretty funny. It's like, Jack, apologies for my previous rudeness. Please elaborate. I can't wait for Vegeta to actually get some good screen time to actually do something in Daima, man. It's gonna be fun. But yeah, next week looks interesting, man, because we got like a shot of Gloria looking over some corner. Goku is actually wearing a different outfit for once, so I'm interested where that's going. And yeah, man, this was a phenomenal episode, man. Probably my second favorite episode of Daima so far, but easily had the best animation of Daima so far, man. Jesus Christ, that Kamehameha was fucking insane, man. But anyway, guys, that turns the video off. Overall, I give this episode a 9.5 out of 10, guys. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Leave a like if you did, subscribe if you're new. Follow me social if you feel like it. Links down description box below. And as always, come out for more. See you guys next time.